Yesterday in the president's Truth Social, he threatened to wipe out a civilization. That statement elicited a huge response in America. If Iran did not come to the table and make a deal yesterday by the deadline, was the president really prepared to wipe out Iran entirely?
Like I said, we had a target set, locked and loaded, of infrastructure, bridges, power plants. Remember, this is a terror regime, the military regime. Used all of these things for dual use to fund their military, to fund their terror campaigns. We had a lot of legitimate targets. They knew exactly the scope of what we were capable of. We hit some military targets on Karg, which is a bit of a signal. They can't defend it. And so Iran ultimately understood their ability, their future, to produce, to generate power, to fuel their terrorist regime was in our hands. It was in President Trump's hands. That's why they came to the table. He ultimately said, we can take it all from you. Your ability to export energy will be taken away. And the United States military has the ability to strike those things with impunity. That type of threat is what brought them to the place where they effectively said, hey, okay, we want to cut this deal.
Military analysts say such strikes, if carried out, could have crippled Iran's power grid, transportation systems, and economic backbone. Not annihilation in a literal sense, but potentially one of the most destructive campaigns in modern Middle Eastern conflict. But here's where it gets strategic. This approach aligns with what experts often describe as the Madman Theory, projecting unpredictability and extreme willingness to act in order to pressure an adversary into backing down. It's a tactic used historically to force rapid concessions without actually crossing into full-scale war. Behind the scenes, US military positioning did indicate real readiness. Forces in the region were on heightened alert, and contingency plans for expanded strikes were reportedly in place, suggesting that while total destruction was unlikely, significant escalation was absolutely on the table. At the same time, major constraints remained. Any large-scale attack on civilian infrastructure could violate international law and trigger global backlash. It would also risk drawing in regional actors, potentially turning a bilateral crisis into a broader war across the Middle East. And that risk appears to have shaped the outcome.